All right, what is up, traders? Super excited for today's video. We have the 50K portfolio here. We recently crossed above 50,000 on it. So I'm going to break it down. All right, we're going to look at the dividend stocks that I'm in, and kind of go over what exposure I have to the market, and then also look at the wheel strategy. Now, I'm recording this on a Monday. I typically do weeklies on Fridays, right? Sometimes stuff that expires that week, or sometimes stuff that expires the next week is what I'm looking for whenever I run the wheel. And I'm looking to just sell some very low risk options that I can get collect the premium on within a day, or within the next week. And if not, then I can exercise those options, either whether they're the call options or the put options, just depending on which ones. So if we look, we've got about 38,000 cash invested, and we have just under 12,000 cash on the sidelines. We are up 11% on the year, from that 38,000 invested. Okay, we've made about 11% of that. And we have a lot of cash so that we can sell some cash secured puts. All right. If we look, I have about 1% in cryptocurrency related stocks, 11% in water, which I think is something that's really slept on. Water, we're going through global water crisis. All right. We're expected to have a global water shortage over the next like 10 years. So now is a good time to start building a little bit of water for the long term. Now, none of this is financial advice. This is all just my opinion and the stuff that I'm looking at. And we're going to go over why and kind of just break it down. I have about 17% invested into to a couple various ETFs, about 1% in biotech, 7% in growth, and 62% in some dividend stocks. You can see the portfolio breakdown, right? I have SPY-G, NNDM, BKT, FO or FA, ZIM, Gilt, Fubo, Jumia, iClean, and KMB. And if we looked at the sectors, all right, we have 11% in index funds, all right, 11% in essential utilities, 41% in energy, 21% in consumer discretionary, 6% in tech, 1% in cannabis. I have a little bit of exposure to cannabis, all right. Over time, we are starting to slowly see regulation become less tight. And one day we may see it federally legal. There's been lots of moves here recently. 3% in industrials and 4% in clean energy. All right. When it comes to dividends, I'm getting about 3,400 annually in dividends. And when you look at how much we have invested, around 38%, that's almost 10% in dividends. That's about a 9% yield, with a 290 monthly average in passive income there. We can come up and take a look here, all right, and see the individual tickers that I have, and break down what I have and why I have them. I have ZIM, all right, this is a dividend stock for me. If you look at the yield, this is a 112% annual yield that you can get off of your shares of ZIM. All right, now this one is in the shipping services. All right, logistics is a big thing. And slowly, we are starting to see some supply chains, starting to loosen up. But, China keeps having the zero COVID policy, so they could lock down at any time. I have the Round Hill Ball Metaverse ETF. All right, this is ticker symbol METV. This is just a way to get good exposure to some chip stocks, to Meta, to Roblox. Okay, and some of those big chip blue names like Microsoft, and then also some of the smaller names like Roblox, like I was mentioning. We have MJ right here. This is basically a cannabis ETF. And this is also a little bit of growth for me because I see that as a sector that has a lot of growth over the long term. Galat Satellite Networks, I am down the most on this one, 38%. I just rebalanced a lot of stuff. If you look percentage of portfolio wise, you can see most of my positions are pretty small. I have about 13% in KMB. This is a pretty decent, dividend stock right here. A little bit safer than, let's say, ZIM that has 111% yield. This one has a nice 4% yield. And I basically got a starter position. I'm looking to get to 100 shares so I can sell some calls. But I'm not really rushing into everything. Kind of just change things up here recently, right? My biggest winner has been Gush. All right, this is the oil and gas bull ETF, and I have a lot of exposure to tech, right? SPY-G is the SPY Growth ETF. I have the Metaverse ETF. I have Fubo in here. And what else I have? BKKT. All right, this is the company that basically does a lot with cryptocurrency. So this is a way to get some crypto exposure in the stock market. If you look here, the company, you can look it up actually, ICE, that owns, the New York Stock Exchange. They actually own this company as well. They're the parent company for BKKT. So once crypto regulation does eventually pass through, however long that takes, BKKT, being owned by the same parent company that owns the New York Stock Exchange, is going to give them a really big leg up and just edge over their competitors. NNDM, I like this one a lot just because they have a lot of cash. All right, they have over $1 billion cash, and their market cap is around 600K. So tech has been hit really hard. This is a 3D printing stock. There could be more pain ahead of that. So, I have some smaller, positions in here, right? This is 1% of the portfolio. Crypto is 1%. The water ETF, PHO, all right, I have 11% of the portfolio in that. Because water's not going anywhere. It's just going to get more scarce over time. So it's really good to build some long-term positions for that. And SpyG does give you a little bit of a yield. All right. If you look here, you get about a 1% yield. SpyG is nice because it basically has the top growth companies in the S&P 500. And it's a lot cheaper than buying the SPY index because, if you look at here, my average cost is about 50.56. The current price is 50.80. You can buy 100 shares for roughly 5,000, 5,100, and then you can still have that exposure to the top stocks in the S&P 500, but you can also sell some calls and sell some puts against those, right? Um, so yeah, that's basically it. Just wanted to show you guys what stocks I'm in. I do have a huge exposure to energy, all right, and that's kind of like my hedge, right? We're heading into winter. I got into this, and energy has just been outperforming. I will be trimming this position, and I've kind of been trimming it and starting some new positions here. I may get rid of Galat. I'm not sure. I'm pretty down on it, but it's not a very big piece of the portfolio, right? We are down about 565 on it, so it's not the worst. But maybe it's time to start moving some of that money away. Really, I'm just going to be selling some cash secured puts, and if I can get those puts to basically get exercised, it's really going to bring the average cost basis down. It's at 831. If I sell the 7 puts or the 6 puts, that's going to bring my average costs a lot lower. But that doesn't mean that long term there can't be more pain. But if you look them up, that they're in a really interesting field. And there's some nice things going on with there. Bingo, I like the biotech sector a lot. I'm looking to increase my exposure there. Biotech has been kind of a little bit of a safer play in this bear market. And so, I sold a lot of Bingo shares earlier, and I'm looking to, I took profit on it. All right. Bingo had a huge, huge, massive rally earlier in this year. And I'm really just looking to, start my position back up in there. So I probably will be selling a little bit of energy, taking some profits on there, and looking to just reinvest a little bit more. Like I said, I do have a lot of tech, so it's very nice to have energy as a good hedge. If we look again here, it's about 41% of the portfolio. Combined with clean energy is about 4.2%. So, roughly 45% of this portfolio is going to be having exposure to some type of energy. So that's basically it. Thank you guys for watching. If you like more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. This is the basically what the options looks like. And so, like I said, I haven't sold anything yet, any covered calls or any cash secured puts, but that's why I'm keeping cash. And that's why we have about almost 12,000 in cash in this portfolio. So that way I still have some money to sell some cash secured puts. If you sell the 45 strike on the SPY-G, that's going to be roughly about 4,500 in premium. Can do that with Kimberly-Clark. If I wanted to, I basically could, use all of my cash to sell a cash secured put on Kimberly-Clark and try to get some more shares there. But really, I just do it for most of the smaller cap stocks. and I'll come in here, sell some cash secured puts because tech, is still not out of the water. A lot of people expect energy to be heading up. So just in case tech does fall lower, I can sell a cash secured put on my position and, it'll bring the overall share cost down, right? Because you get to collect that premium and essentially get the stock at a cheaper price.